One trip alone is sometimes all it takes to make changes that will last a lifetime. I've grown up and currently live in Dubai, and being constantly surrounded by so much luxury, safety, and filtering, it's so easy to get detached from reality. This is why I believe traveling is essential. Each of the 17 countries I visited serve not only as a learning and cultural experience, but also as a reality check. However, no experience compares to my trip to Laos. In grade 10, I had the opportunity to go on a service trip to Laos, one of the poorest countries in Southeast Asia. The site took place at a village near Luang Prabang, which is also a tourist destination. As such, a group of 30 of us helped build a bungalow near the village to be rented out to tourists visiting the country for its beautiful forests and landscapes. The constant revenue generation would then go to the people of the village to improve the overall quality of life. I absolutely fell in love with the purpose of this trip and was more than excited to embark on this journey. When we got to the village, groups of twos and threes were assigned to a local host family. There were so many differences, from language to food to religion to physical appearances to shower and toilets, even. This was the reality check I had never experienced before. There was so much change, and yet I found myself instantly welcomed among strangers. My host happened to be the poorest family of the village. I was with two other girls from my group living with a family of 8, all in one room. It was a massive shock initially, especially given that verbal communication was extremely limited. Until then, I never realized the power of a smile. I knew two words in Lao: hello, sabaidi, and thank you so much, kob chai rai. Despite that automatic barrier, it was enough to form a bond. To add a visual to this scenario, this is my bedroom. It was ordinary to me, it was a room I took for granted. And this is where I stayed when we were there. This is the entire home. My host family gave up two of their beds and slept all together so that we would have a place to sleep. I was overwhelmed with warmth and change. I've never experienced such authentic kindness and respect the way I had there. But to say the first day was not a challenge would be an understatement. Upon arriving, I was just an outsider. I couldn't communicate with the locals, wasn't familiar with my surroundings, with the way of life or the labor. The simplest of things seemed to be an obstacle. However, by the second day, all the challenges disappeared, and I owe this to how comfortable the locals made me feel while I was there. Although we could not communicate the traditional way, body language and the two words we knew were enough for both of us to feel accepted and valued. It was an indescribable and beautiful experience. After a week, as we were about to head back, I was in no hurry to leave. I experienced so much joy in completing this project and seeing how happy the simplest of things, like an empty bottle to play with or a smile, made them, that it was so hard leaving. In that moment, as we had the spiritual ceremony, I made it a mission to one day return or continue such service in my life. Prior to this trip, I was lost in the sense that I did not know which direction my future was headed. This incredible opportunity and aha moment that I've experienced made me realize what I wanted to do in life. So I began to connect my theoretical learning and classroom knowledge in economics with real world manifestations. I realized this experience is similar to how the Canadian multiplier rises due to an increase in government expenditure, which prompts further consumer spending and ultimately an increase in GDP. Except in this situation, there was no increase in government spending, as it was and is volunteer work, hence eliminating the negative repercussions. I believe studying business or economics at IE University will give me the required skills to pursue my dream in helping underdeveloped nations, to ultimately decrease the income disparity our world unfortunately faces.